Hello and welcome to another Lord of the Rings Rise to War video. I am the player who plays as the King Under the Mountain, and today I am sending you a video from what appears to be Narnia. This will be my end of season update. I may do another video tomorrow because it will be the last day of the server tomorrow technically. We have 8 hours and 38 minutes left. Our server ended a little bit early. I think it's like day 53, maybe, something like that. I have forged all my 48 rings. Thanks for that game. I'll just very briefly... Why not? We'll go into that. So I did actually get one legendary ring. And in my crafting manual, which I thought was pretty cool. Bless the dog there in the background. I got my 48 rings. I'm pretty happy with that, even if most of them are blue. I will use up my my materials later. But I suppose... And again, not to give away too much, I suppose we better start with the map and pray that I'm already zoomed out, I guess. Here we go. This is the map. It is still very blue and turquoise with a lot more purple. And I can pretty much delve into some of the reasons why now at this stage. So I'll just kind of give some factual information, I suppose. So as you can tell by me saying Narnia, I am actually here. That's not through choice. So I'll go through that in a minute. So basically, we have Gondor, which had Only and Roaring, which are actually pretty close to Minas Tirith. I don't know if they've got a fortress up. We might check that out in a little while. You have Rune, who Coffer, and a couple others who have defended pretty well. To be honest, they've kept their capital pretty well defended. Some of these pins have been a little bit nasty at times. That pin's been going on for a long, long time. We were in Erebor. We've been playing with, obviously I play in Dobie, so we've been playing with Echo, Brav, and Skull. Echo have been genuine shout out to Echo. They've been brilliant this season, and I've been really impressed with them. Our pins tend to move around the map because we've been getting moved around the map, I suppose, is probably the key term. So this kingdom here is Linden, obviously by the colour. They are the DK fellowships, and they have been super strong, and they've played brilliantly all season, and they own the ring. They have been, I forgot Rohan as well. Rohan took Andrast. I don't know what they were doing down there, but yeah, they took Andrast last night. And then you've got this turquoise kingdom, which is Arnor, which is 1T. And Visop, who have been allied with Linden all season, and they've pushed pretty much the entirety of the map. I was right, Angmar did get their capital back because their players have decided to join DK next season. So, the trials and tribulations of Erebor, let's start at the beginning and kind of go from there. So, obviously we lost all this area over here, which we once had, and we came to the south, and we did actually take Gorgoroth, which we were quite happy with. We set a plan in motion to try to defend Gorgoroth. We actually owned Udon until the other day, but naturally this thing, when you run into this sort of area, you still get pinched from both sides. So DK have pretty much exclusively taken over Gorgoroth for the past 3 or 4 days. So I've been uprooted from Gorgoroth, and we took Emimule, where 3 of us actually sieged, which was in my other video, which was pretty cool, to be honest. So we thought we might then bounce to Emimule, naturally, because there was a 2-border way across, because we actually owned Udon at the time. And the plan was to kind of try to go for Argonath and aim for Ridersburg and East Emlet as our capital, presuming that we would lose Gorgoroth. Which, to be fair, we probably should have lost Gorgoroth, and if DK wanted to take it yesterday or the day before, they could have done. So that's fine. I'm trying to be factual here with what's actually gone on. So what actually happened in reality when I got relocated from Gorgoroth was I ended up down here. Then Rune took this territory, and to be fair, I asked to be uprooted, and I actually ended up back in Gorgoroth this morning for about an hour and a half before base defense went wrong, and we ended up literally finishing the season, sadly not by the sea, but very much out in the bottom corner of the map, which has led to only being able to use birds. So let's continue to talk through the map, I guess. So let's go to Gorgoroth, and Gandalf is now actually loaded up. So there was 42 armies on this when I last looked, and I think there is now 0 as we've taken the Foul Fort down. So this is good news. This is why airstrikes are really good. So we got told this morning by Arnold that they were actually respectfully, and great shout out to them, we're going to leave as our capital for the way we'd fought this season, which was really nice of them. DK had pretty much left it, I think, to Arnold to do whatever they wanted with, due to the fact that we took it off Arnold to sort of do this. So I'm presuming that's what DK's relationship with him was, to just sort of say, yep, you can obviously, you know, take the capital back, that's fine. So they've sort of prepared all this area for Arnold, and then we got a message this morning from Arnold saying, hey, you guys can keep your capital, great fights this season. And then we kind of blew up the Fell Fort that was building anyway, just because we do like to use airstrikes to blow these things up. And then there was 42 armies on this DK one that miraculously started building pretty soon after we got rid of the Arnold one and after this new sort of leak. So I don't know if they were trying to take Gorgoroth. There's still enough time for them to do it because they only need 6 hours for a fortress. But it did kind of look like they were going to try and take Gorgoroth. So we've just kind of blown it up. There was 42 armies on there, and this is the most recent bird strike just a couple of minutes ago, actually. So we took down that, and I got killed by this guy who is actually genuinely a really good player. So I was surprised that I actually managed to do as much as what I did, really. His Bjorn and his Dane are pretty wild. So, yeah, considering I was half full, I was quite happy with that. So what we've done there is we've now got capital pretty well defended for another 6 hours, so we still have 2 hours 30 to live up. I'm sure another Fellowship Fort will pop up here soon, and we'll probably try and take it down again, I would guess. But it's a little bit stressful going into the last few hours of the season, not going to lie, to see if we actually keep this or whether we get a very honourable Explorer badge, which I think we'd wear with a lot of pride because we've worked hard this season for a limited number of people in Erebor. So anyway, that's the tale of the tape so far. Who knows what will happen and whether we'll end up with a capital or not. Like I say, I may do another video tomorrow if we don't end up with the capital, just to fill people in. Presume if there's no video tomorrow that we kept the capital and everyone's happy. So that was kind of that. So from a leaderboard perspective, we've actually managed, even though we've been bullied all the way around the server, and I will do a video on this, I think, about resource and how you can take resource anywhere on the map realistically and sort of keep your resources high. It's very difficult to fight, particularly if you're not an absolute kraken, to a good level to help out your fellowship if you haven't got good production. And somehow I've managed to squirm my way back into this top 20 of production. Currently, and not by a great deal, may I add, and it's going to be pretty hard for me to get merit for the rest of the next 8 hours, bear in mind I'm literally in Narnia now, unless I find some people out there with me, which I very much doubt. Currently top in merit, which I'm pretty happy about. It's 1 million less than last season, but I still think that's a good effort for a hard season, to be honest. Raven hasn't played much this season, so I've kind of took advantage of that fact. And there's been a lot of fighting. This guy's really strong. These two guys are actually really strong. There's a few people from Kaffa have done really well. Obviously, we haven't fought Rune all season. I had a great battle with this guy this morning for about an hour. He brought over a few other people in the end, but when my base basically landed in Gorgoroth, and it was right by his fort. He's got a seriously good formation. He plays the game very well also, so we had some really good fights. I might try and find them in a minute. So from a production point of view, we're way down. We're obviously only at 1 million. Raw have done well to recover to 1.1, and then everyone else is kind of quite far below. So the majority of the production is in Linden and Arnor, to be honest. But I was quite happy with this as a contribution level. This is just from Erebor, I think. So we've done okay this season. Been a lot of siege as well, which is pretty good, really. So that was the leaderboards. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done one of these. I don't remember what I normally do afterwards. So I don't really want to talk about the update tomorrow in this video or about PBE, because I think there's I don't know. It's not for me yet to be putting out tier lists and things like that because I think lots of things will change. Whether they do or not is a different thing, but I think some things will change. I know some people are a little bit in uproar about the fact that some of the vouchers aren't going to be universal, so um, I'm probably not going to cover that topic today, I think. As for the formation and gear, I need to break down some items tonight because I have hammers. I will I'll break down 4 pieces with my season hammers, likely to be probably this, and probably something like this golden skin, and maybe these drums. I'm going to try and sort of play around and see what I can get to because my plan is to play Saruman quite heavily in the future because of the changes that he's had from PBE. So probably this focus set or making a different focus set could be good because I don't really have the equipment for 3 focus people, for example. So my intention would be to probably run, not to give away what I'm likely to run, but it's probably true. Something like a Dane, Saruman, Sauron, and Gandalf the White combination. But I'm not too sure if I have the right amount of focus gear for that. So I may actually have to really sadly play Gil. Just because of gear restraints, which makes me really sad as he's an elf. So from a gear perspective and a commander's perspective, we're still where we were really. With the sets, I'll just very briefly go through them. Thanks to the gear chest. Oh yeah, once the Mithril resets as well, I will be getting Sauron's unique, which I'm really happy about that change. I know I didn't want to talk about them, but 10 Mithril for the start of a unique is pretty cool, to be fair. And then I think the only other pieces then are these 2, which I will keep. I'm quite happy with, but I might just change the skill on them. I might make a Perseverance focus set that I think I'm probably going to throw on Saruman. And then with the changes and what I'll be able to do to Gandalf the White, I'll probably make him more of an attacking focus sort of build as well, I think. So we'll see, but yeah, I'm looking forward to sort of playing around with that when we come out of season. So that was that. I've probably got a few fights as well that I'll show you from this morning, and announcements apparently. So I've just shown you those 2 fights there. This was all around my base this morning after I'd finally died. This was some Fortress Airstrikes this morning also. So this was taking out the Vsop Fortress. And again, really frustrating to be honest sometimes, the use of birds now, because I do feel that eagles are way more squishier than a fell beast now. So we got through that anyway and kind of into the second one. This was this morning, so this was all base defense stuff. But I'll just try and find. That's why my thought's going down. Where was it? This guy here. So I had some great fights with these guys today. This is this morning. So in the end, they ended up calling over 2 or 3 formations to actually get rid of me. I made a couple of mistakes in the base defense that I had this morning. So I kept killing random troops. This is where I was just scouting. This was a really nice fight, to be fair. This guy's got a really strong formation. I just basically took advantage of the counter buff here. He normally beats me, to be fair. This is all base defense. I had to start using a secondary, which did okay, to be fair. I do like my secondary this season. I've used it a lot. I don't normally get a secondary formation up to 43 even, I would say. So that's pretty good. I killed some siege with a 3rd formation, which I was just running around with this, just trying to kill whatever siege was around my base, to be honest. This guy runs so many different accounts that I got away with kind of getting through those. So this was all base defense stuff again, just killing off different people. So I was only there for probably an hour, I would say, but it was a pretty stressful hour. to be perfectly honest. I mean, I got some siege. I killed some armies as well as they were walking by. Yeah, so it was a pretty active morning, and I was pretty stressed while I was trying to drink my coffee today. But I did definitely make some mistakes, particularly with eagles. I was trying to take tiles, and I was just having an absolute nightmare. Like, just leaving stuff around like this, so it just died. Didn't put gear on sometimes. Just all the kind of general disaster stuff that can happen. This was a nice fight, actually. I remember this one. This is where I changed because I wanted to get some counter buffs. So I was quite happy with that. Generally, though, he does beat me. Oh, this was the one that really hurt. I don't know what I was doing here. I think I'd gone over to try and siege a fort and just forgot about him, and I'd just left a load of rams just to die for fun. I mean, the fact that I even drew that, to be honest, I'm quite impressed with. So that was this morning. That was some battle reports. Like I say, I don't know if they're going to rebuild this or not. I would probably anticipate they might do. We'll see. But with 8 hours left in the server, it's very much still alive. The winners are definitely decided, but there are some things going on around capitals, so we'll see. I will actually just take a quick look at Minas Tirith because I want to know where Gondor were at the end of the season and all that. So they haven't got a fortress up, and they have been pushed back beyond the crossing. So the likelihood is that Gondor won't get their capital back at this point. They had a really good go. I think it was either last night or this morning. They were somewhere around here. So they did have a really, really good go at getting that back. Pretty sure Rune will keep theirs, but I'm just going to have a quick look while we're here. There are forts everywhere being built. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're fairly safe, I think, Rune, by the looks of things. They've done really well with this defence. I mean, I know these guys are here, but they've defended really well of Rune, and there is no fell fort building, so I'm sure they'll be okay. So that's kind of where we're at. So I'd love to say I'm full on I'd love to say I'm full on fell beasts and things, but I don't think I am. But thanks to this new fort feature, which I think is fantastic, by the way, I should be able to probably find a way of being full just by moving that to there, that to there, and that to there. There you go. So now I actually have a full formation. This new thing where you can change troops or commanders in your forts if the past stage 3 is really good. And obviously I did do a video on I've done 2 actually, but I haven't released the other one yet. So I've done one on base defense, and I've done one on siege over this new kind of method of being able to change commanders, and that's why I was able to do 130ish, I think it was, K siege on a keep myself. So it was basically taken a 500k keep taken by 3 people, which is pretty cool. Not probably what the game is supposed to be made to do, but you have to take advantage of these things. My other plan, and I don't really mind admitting this at this stage, and this is kind of goes back into this whole resource thing that I do want to do a video on resource at some stage, is you have to be able to traverse the map sometimes, and I'll show you where this is. So I am over here. Not too far from the Grey Havens. My plan by the end of the season is to put some forts outside the Grey Havens. Hopefully I don't get caught, but yes, I am very close to the Grey Havens, and I have tiles over here because they're really safe. This is what I mean about rotating resource, and I'll probably show I'll do a video on rotating resources, because I think it's really important if you're going to play to a high level of play in this game. Even if it's just 150s and 130s, but it's really important to sort of keep you going. The barracks is pretty empty, I would suggest, because we've been training Fell Beast for over a day. So I was pretty full a couple of days ago, but it's been a couple of days active fighting, and this is where we're back to. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover today. Like I said, the map's pretty cool. It's been a really good server. It's been hard work. DK hands down have been the best team. Arnor have been a great opponent, like really, really sort of not the most wailed, but they've been really hard working. And again, like DK, they spam tiles for fun. So yeah, it's been really cool. Hopefully we keep a capital at this point. That was good defense when we've sort of took these down with flying units. So it's a bit of a signature of ours now. We've done that a lot in the last 3 or 4 seasons when strategically we've had to. But as always, if in doubt, always follow your nose.